What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the FN Studios. I'm John Ramdeen. He is Robin Black, and there are a couple of UFC cards going down this weekend. We have one in Northern Ireland, as well as one in Brazil. It is the rematch between Ryan Bader and Little Nogueira. This isn't the fight that was supposed to happen, but this is the fight that we have. I think this is a more important fight for Little Nog than it is for Ryan Bader. Now, Ryan Bader, he has to win fights. If he wants to get a crack at the UFC 205-pound championship, people aren't giving him the respect, so you just have to keep knocking them down. And knock them down, and eventually the UFC will have to give you your title shot. But if you're Little Nog, what do you need to do to take on a guy that has less miles, less damage, is younger than you, and has a victory over you in the past?
It's not easy, for sure. You know, we've been talking a lot lately about trying to find analogies and explanations in different ways for people to see how much the game has changed in a short time. And one, when we talked about Chandler versus Ben Henderson, we talked about how that old school is somewhat robotic. You know, go in there, build the machine, and execute these plays. And that's where Ryan Bader has been. Ryan Bader has been a high-level robot. I know how to throw this combination. I know how to move this thing. We've programmed this footwork, make these choices in this, and build the robotic body. And then the new style, the new evolution is very organic. You know, we're moving, we're floating, we're playing, we're manipulating. It's very organic. And the little analogy we made with the Chandler is he's the cyber organic, the cyborg. And that's where you take these guys now. You can't just take the Ryan Baders of the world and say, well, you're the old style, you're probably going to get beat. You just add a little more organic nature to it. And I think that's also how you beat him if you're Nogueira. You go in and you work around the robotic nature. You work around the running of plays, and you color outside the lines a little bit. Very difficult at 40, but he's an old school martial artist, and the old school martial arts mentality is starting to really work against the new school rehearsed execution of plays.
Now, we know that Little Nogueira has worked on his wrestling in the past. He works on it every single day. As you pointed out, the formula is there. Everybody goes and works the specific routine. In this fight with Ryan Bader, how important is that he just makes it a fight? Because Ryan Bader, it's one of the reasons why I haven't been a fan of Ryan Bader or this type of athlete, because they're athletes that come into the combat sports world and learn how to get victories. Where a guy like Little Nogueira, he has in the past just gone out and fought. And how important is it that he just goes out and throws at Ryan Bader and makes him very uncomfortable, just constantly try to hurt him? Yes, if he tries to take you down, you stop that. If he manages to get you down, do what we saw in the first fight. Just get back up and try to punish this guy.
The first fight was a long time ago, but when I went to look at it for keys to victory, a lot of the principles still apply. So the game has changed, the way you express the game has changed, but a lot of root principles of fighting, those are the things you keep. And, you know, he got taken down and played guard in round one. Now we know that for the most part, against a very sturdy wrestler who understands how to distribute his weight, understands how to control in the guard, you just get pieced up in there, chewed apart. So he started getting back to his feet. Best way to not have to do that, don't get taken down. Best way to do that is not be in front of him. So if he can be on the outside, making Ryan have to turn back into him and land some shots, but that is footwork. It starts with the footwork.
But there's certain realities involved, and one of those realities is Little Nog, it's not like the days when he was in Pride, when he was a younger man. Now 40 years old, 40 years of age, he's gone through countless training camps. You know his body's beaten up, so he's not going to be as fast as Ryan Bader, who is going to be able to beat him to the punch, so to speak.
He's got to feel pretty good about that Pat Cummings fight. You know, push him back. Don't give him the moment to be able to get a clean attempt to wrestle you to the ground and strike until you hurt him. That's a beautiful, beautiful approach. It worked against the last guy of a similar prototype, so we're going to try it again. If it fails in the first couple of minutes, we're never directly in front of him, and we're going to try it again and again and again.
And I imagine Ryan Bader, he understands how important this victory is if he does want to get a crack at the UFC's 100 or 205-pound title, because right now things are kind of in disarray. We know that Daniel Cormier is going to be taking on Anthony Rumble Johnson. If Rumble Johnson wins, the division's open right back up. But Ryan Bader's certainly going to have to deal with the hostile crowd in Brazil.